What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of KC Outdoors. In today's video, we are going to be comparing a G5 Megameat with a G5 fixed blade. Right here, we've got the Megameat versus the G5 Montech, which is their fixed blade. I've shot this broadhead for years. It flies super straight. It has a 1 1/16 inch cutting diameter, as you can see right here. This is the blade right here. 3-blade, razor sharp. Tried and true. I've killed a lot of deer with this head, but the star of today's show is right here, the G5 Megameat. Also the same brand, but this comes in at a whopping 2-inch cut. Here's the Megameat fully deployed. You can see it's a 3-blade design with a massive 2-inch cutting diameter. However, worst case scenario, if this does not deploy, you still have 3 razor sharp blades going through your animal. And if you compare this closed up going through an animal, there's the G5 Montech, and there's the Megameat. So worst case scenario, the blades don't deploy. You still have 3 giant blades going through the deer. All right, let's put these two heads to the test. So we have a rack of ribs right here that I cut in half. We're going to be testing both broadheads on each just to simulate the broadheads going through bone. More so like a rib cage than like a shoulder blade. There's plenty of videos out there shooting broadheads through shoulders. I 100% don't recommend it. If you shoot a mechanical into a shoulder, you're going to lose your deer. It doesn't matter what kind of mechanical you're shooting. If you have a fixed blade, you might have better odds, but still, that's not what today's video is about. Now we're going to do a few things in today's video. That is the G5 Megameat, the G5 fixed blade. Those will be are 2 that we compare along with a control using a field tip. So we're going to do a sound test as if you're the deer to hear what it sounds like to be shot with a field point, a G5 Montech fixed blade, a G5 Megameat, and you'll have to be the judge to let me know what it sounds like, if there's a difference, and if you were a deer, which one you would hear first. We're also going to be shooting the tips through 2 layers of cardboard, a rack of ribs, through a water target. So we're going to see the progression of the arrow through all those obstacles, and we will see which broadhead comes out on top. Now, this is not going to be perfect, but I'm going to use a few layers of cardboard to simulate going through hide before we go through bone and tissue. So this is how the main portion of the testing is going to go. We've got our G5 Megameat right here, and we also have our G5 Montech. We're going to be comparing the two side by side, and this is how we're going to do it. We've got 2 layers of cardboard, and inside we've got a rack of ribs. We're gonna place this in front of the water target, and we're gonna see how much penetration we get and how much of a wound cavity we get, along with what it looks like for each broadhead to go through bone. All right, guys, first up is the G5 Megameat at 20 yards. These will both be getting shot out of my Matthews Phase 4. Well, I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is the damage downrange, devastating. The bad news is this broadhead is destroyed. The G5 Megameat only made it 1 shot. You can see just how destroyed this blade is. This thing is bent like crazy and will not be able to be fired again. Look how bent that blade is. So is this one. This is the only straight blade. There are gouges in the blade. This is how it's supposed to look like. Bottom line, this broadhead is absolutely destroyed after only 1 shot. All right, next up, the G5 Montech fixed blade. All right, now for a sound test as if you were the deer. I've got the target set up right next to the camera. We're gonna be shooting 3 shots. First is a field tip as a control. Second will be the fixed blade. And third will be the G5 Megameat. You be the judge as to which one's the loudest, and let me know in the comments down below. First up, the field tip. Second, the G5 Montech fixed blade. Third, the G5 Megameat. shooting through the same block at 20 yards, the field tip on our very left, the G5 Megameat here in the middle, and then made it all the way through and into the next target is the G5 Montec. Inspecting the blades on the G5 Megameat, after going through the soft target, they seem to still be straight and sharp, unlike the last test we did. Now this became a very expensive test for me very quickly after the first 2 shots. Let me explain to you. As you might recall, the first shot was the G5 Megameat, and these broadheads are $60 for 3 heads, so that is $20 a piece. And as you can maybe tell, just after 1 shot, this broadhead is toast. Thankfully, the arrow, on the other hand, is perfectly okay, even after going through the rib cage. Now the fixed blade, on the other hand, the fixed blade is perfectly intact and still razor sharp. However, the arrow is cracked all the way around back towards the nock. These broadheads were brand new, and so were the arrows. We've got 1 broadhead that's toast, 1 broadhead that's not toast, 1 arrow that is completely shot, the other being okay. This is quite an interesting turn of events. The other day, I was practicing with the G5 Megameats out to 60 yards shooting through that soft target that you saw down there, and it was flying great, it was shooting great groups, I was very impressed with it. However, after seeing this head get destroyed after 1 shot, it makes me skeptical. But if you've used them, let me know in the comments down below what you think, and if I should try out the G5 Megameat this year, or if I should stick to my tried and true G5 Montec fixed blade. Now, let's do an inspection of the cardboard and the ribs. So this is the G5 Megameat. All 3 blades deployed perfectly straight, looking good. Here's where we run into issues. The exit hole kind of reminds me of the deformed shape of the G5 Megameat. As you can see, it's all twisted and not looking that great. Now, here is the entrance on the ribs. Looks really good. Like I said, all 3 blades deployed. Flipping it over to the back. That's my finger. Good size hole. I can feel this rib right here where you see the blade had started to cut through and then it deflected off this bone and kind of closed back up and deformed. If we switch over to the G5 Montec, you can see the entrance hole is much smaller, but the exit hole is near perfect. So let's slide this out. Oh, I can feel the bone fragments. Looking at the entrance on the ribs, it's a much smaller hole than the G5 Megameat. However, the backside, I feel fragments of the bones. So this punched through the ribs, no problem at all. Whereas the G5 Megameat got scared and closed back up and got all deformed. After this test, I think I'm going to be sticking with the G5 Montec. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you thought of today's video, along with other video ideas you guys want to see from me. I'm planning on doing a 1-pin versus 2-pin versus multi-pin comparison. I'm also going to be putting together all the footage from a 10-pointer that I shot on film a ways back. Don't forget about the bow giveaway happening October 1st. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and as always guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.